Well, Gus's death scene is something that my writers and I talked about for many, many months before it came the day that we actually shot it.
When even Vince mentioned that you're finally going to go, we have to do it. It's just right for the story. I said, it's right for the story. Let's go big.
And there were many thousands of man-hours spent talking with various experts in their various fields, including Bill Pulowski, our visual effects supervisor, and Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger, our prosthetic, makeup, and sculpting whizzes, geniuses.
Initially, my gut reaction was, okay, we need two pieces to really do this the right way. We need the prosthetic on the actor, and we will recreate as much as we can what it would look like to have half of the face missing. But I also recommended that we make a bust. We take a head cast of Giancarlo and sculpt the detail into it, not having to worry about the real actor's bone structure and everything, but actually sculpting in the clay head. So Giancarlo came up to the shop. We did a full head cast of him.
It was a very interesting process to not only get my head cast and figure out what that look may be.
From there, John Wheaton, who was our designer, we did a bunch of Photoshop renderings. The ear missing, the ear still there, the jaw missing, the jaw still there, the eye there. A bunch of ideas for Vince to look at.
And Vince and all of us would look at it, all the writers and the producers, and we'd all talk about it, and then we'd give him Vince's notes and everybody's thoughts, and they'd make adjustments. So that process took a little bit of time.
I think the thing that's most important is always have a 3D representation of what we're doing. Instead of, you can only get so far with Photoshop design work. So we sculpted a bust. Garrett Immel created this sculpture based on the artwork that we had showed Vince, and it was anatomically correct. You know, we put the bones where the bone should be, the jaw, the blown off jawbone, the eye socket, all that stuff. We matched as anatomically correctly as we could to what Giancarlo's real face looks like. And from that point on, we then sculpted a matching prosthetic that he would wear that simulated the exact same look.
Once this was all approved and everybody loved it, we went ahead and we sculpted a makeup. And this is actually the makeup that's going to go onto his face. So it's pretty much a duplicate of this damage, minus all these pieces that are all blown inward, you know, all the pieces that are missing, which will then be digital augmentation. Then I'll take a marking pen and then put little tracking marks over the makeup. That way the digital guys can then map sections that are here onto that makeup. It's a great use of doing practical makeup effects and digital effects, combining them together, because the plan is obviously that when the audience sees this, they will just be blown away by what has just happened to one of the main characters. It won't be like, wow, that was a cool effect, or that was a cool makeup, or that was a cool digital effect. It'll be shocking and gutting that this is what happened to this one character.
The day we shot this in the abandoned, this really was an abandoned nursing home that we shot in. It was quite a tense day for me. I was pretty nervous that day, and I was a little on edge because I knew I was running out of time. As always, when you're directing, you're running out of time. You're running short of time to get all the things that you want to get shot.
Am I correct in assuming he's calling me from inside saying everything's cool?
Yes, he is.
Very busy day. You know, I have a lot of makeup to go through. We have the first shot where I can just be sort of natural and normal, if you can call that, getting into the Gus character, trying to find a natural state.
The only mark.
And you get to go ahead.
I decided this morning that I would put on a different pair of glasses and I'd roll in the van as Giancarlo, just to sort of start a little easier. Because as soon as I put on my glasses and start to think about this Gus mindset, I become a little bit manipulative. I get a little more joy out of ordering my egg white omelet. I get a little more joy out of saying, when they knock on my door and say, we're ready for you, closing it back and waiting about 5 minutes and have some anticipation. You know? So it's kind of cool that I'm in this really jolly place right now, but obviously I sink down into a deeper, more darker zone as I get closer to my destination and what I have to do.
I can do it. Absolutely.
We absolutely knew that season 4 was leading to the demise of Gus. We knew from the beginning. And it was not because we wanted to get rid of Gus Fring as a character, I can tell you that. It was a sad day when we realized that Gus had to go.
It's absolutely a big day as producers. I mean, having Vince here, you know, our creator and executive producer here directing is so exciting for the cast and for the crew.
But my day will get a bit more grueling as we go on, as I start to make this transformation that I have to make to come to my ultimate demise.
You know, the funny thing about the damage of the room post-explosion, it takes an awful lot of work to make a room look so messed up.
This was, this morning, a nice pristine room. We took the window out, we put in our window, another window. We have about 3 sets of those windows. We accidentally put a couple holes in the ceiling here. Now the painters are doing the final touch to make it look like scorch marks besides the explosion, where the paint, you can see where the paint's peeling off the walls just from the heat of the explosion. And this is all done instantaneously, practically. So it's 9:30 in the morning, and we're about done.
And there's a real art to this, dressing it in just so that the place looks like a bomb really went off on it. Mark Hansen, my prop master in his prop department, came up with this great wheelchair wreckage so that the wheelchair looks like a bomb went off. You know, ground zero was under the seat of this wheelchair. And I remember looking at this damaged room and being so happy with it.
I love the way that what's left of the glass frame is bent, and the way the what do you call them, curtains are blown out, and the ceiling looks great. And honestly, this is the main stuff we're gonna see. Yeah. So once we get around, this all looks great.
We went to look at the post-explosion look, and which was thrilling because Vince got there. We couldn't have been happier with it.
Okay. Great job. Great job with this.
And then dressing in a few last touches.
All right. Thank you, guys. Great job. Awesome.
Sweet. You want me to use black dot on any of the bone?
It's gonna be this is the color, right?
Yeah, it'd probably be somewhere like in there. I'm gonna definitely gray it, or gore it up and gray it up a bit.
For this episode, we're just gonna be augmenting the makeup appliance with digital effects. Maybe even yellow, just something that we can really read. The tracking marks will allow us to digitally replace part of the jaw and part of the side of the head as needed. Yeah, probably about that size.
Okay.
And we can make it a little bit bigger by just
Yeah, whatever you want.
Can you make it bigger while we're out on set?
I can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yes. I can't make it smaller, but I can make it bigger. Okay.
The explosion that happens is a very real-world physical effect of this big steel door being blown off its hinges by a bunch of nitrogen mortars. There's huge canisters of very highly pressurized gas.
Today we're going to blow that door out. That's T.O.'s room. And what we have in there is some large air mortars, a lightweight door, a lot of debris. And we're going to do this non-pyro. It's a lot safer. And on cue, we'll blow that door out. We'll drop a picture. We'll drop some ceiling tiles. The light fixtures will drop down all at the same time. That door should end up somewhere where we are, right around here, I think, if all goes really well.
What looks like an explosion caused by a bomb is, in fact, a bunch of very powerful mortars releasing gas instantaneously in such a volume and such a quick snap that if you're standing in front of this door when this thing went off, you'd be killed.
I think that's it. These 2 panels, Ken, which else is dropping?
All 3.
We're prepping all of our pieces to fall off the ceiling. We have all remote trips on that stuff for the lights, for the ceiling tiles, for some dust, for some debris. Then when they're done inside and Vince okayed it, which I think he just did, we're gonna go ahead and start getting our air mortars in there and lined up for the door. On cue, Ken's gonna push the button that's gonna trigger all the mortars, which will blow this door off at pretty high speed. The second he senses that or hears that, Mike is going to trigger all of these to drop, and ideally, the wind and the door will catch them, and take them with them. I want some big pieces flying that way. And ideally, this door will come out a little bit sideways like this so that they can see the burn side of the door. That's our hope. And when it comes over here, it's gonna hit this to stop it, and we hope it, I don't think it's gonna knock this over, but I think it's gonna break over this.
Okay, here we go.
Great.
Awesome.
All right, and this is a makeup shirt?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Do anything you want. If it doesn't work,
No,
you
it's
get a
all good.
t-shirt.
I'm just gonna cover up your pants.
Nothing compared to having it applied on the day when Howard Berger came out and we were in the trailer for 4.5 hours actually doing it.
All right. Are you comfortable?
I am.
Now I'm just gonna fit this.
Okay.
And I cut little striations out of here, just so you can see a little bit.
Oh, that's very cool.
That way you won't be completely blind, because it actually does get annoying after a while.
Okay.
What I'm doing right now is we've got the piece glued down. There's still a little blending to be done, but I'm just working on some of the paint work. But yeah, this is kind of the part where it starts to come together. You know, obviously when you have just the foam piece, you're looking at it going, okay, well, I guess this is gonna kind of how it's gonna work. But once it starts coming together, then you kind of figure it out.
Very strange, especially in that neck area. Now, a minute ago, it's kind of looking okay around my chin and my lips, but now it looks like it's going away. And from my one eye I have that I can really see through, it really looks like it's gone. I pretty much have seen it all, I thought, but now looking at this, it's really a little scary.
As I kept looking in the mirror, it became more and more of an eerie experience, particularly because one half of my face is me and the other half is basically off.
Looking at this and talking is very strange, some feeling and sensation. And then there's always this, too. I keep touching that and going, ooh, feels a little funky. And I think that because it's so light, and when I get out there in terms of what I'm going to do, it'll just feel like a big piece of masking tape on my face, which will be great, because then I don't feel any different except for the fact that there's a little something laying on my eyeball. But when I open my eye, I can see through it, so I don't really feel very different, which is what I like. I want to be sort of in shock myself. I have to make it real, and it's up to me to sell it, and for me to believe it is what's important. And right now, I really, truly do, you know, which is really great.
We're going to cut to something like a 21 or so, something that holds us floor to ceiling. And we're going to see this explosion obliquely. I always pictured and I always pitched to the writers Gus's death being this explosion, but then the aftermath, you know, boom, the bomb goes off and you see the door go flying, you see this nursing home explode. The door's going to go boom and some tiles are going to come down, this light's going to go off, the door's probably going to knock into this bookshelf. Once the smoke was clearing from that explosion, I always pictured Gustavo Fring walking out, appearing seemingly unscathed. And then yet the camera comes around on him, and we reveal this horrific damage. Half his face is gone. And Andy on his Steadicam comes around and slowly reveals as we clock around his face that half his head is actually gone. And it involved making one seemingly uninterrupted, seamless take actually be composed out of two separate takes. What a great reel. He was on the phone and he turned.
Yeah, how about that? I was just talking about good.
I was very apprehensive. And after stepping out of the trailer, walking to the set, there are all the reactions that come from people before we've even shot it.
Maybe a little more, could maybe some of this hair be, maybe maybe some more, like,
More cinch back.
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, yeah, no worries.
And so I remember my instinct, I wanted to go through the back door. I didn't want people to see me. People were like, oh my gosh, what a great job, all these things. And I wanted to be in the moment of the reality and truth of what I had to do.
On the last day of shooting episode 13, I wanted to go see Giancarlo's finale as Gus.
Mess with me. Bad things happen.
I knew that was good. I knew that was coming.
When I saw what they were doing, I thought, oh my God.
How is it, brother?
It's good.
Oh,
it's better
God.
now. Much better now. I see you.
Show these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and I know what it takes to have those kind of prosthetics going on.
You have to zen out when you go into prosthetics like that?
Yeah, you have to relax.
Yeah.
And also emotionally, what's going on with you. It's like your character is going to die in this spectacular way, but still, he's going to die. And I've been in that situation many times.
What I was talking about. Took me a few minutes. Hi. And what are you going to look like? You mean he's going to look like that and I'm going to look like this?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, my character ends up in the air. We don't know what happens.
Okay.
We know what happens to you. You look like one of those books they gave me in health where you turn a transparent page and you see inside the body.
Oh, I remember
You need a
Boys,
you need a transparent
This
thing
is
over
what
it.
happens when you mess with dirty girls. Syphilis in its later stages.
It was fun to see that, and yet knowing, as everyone did, that that was the end of Gus Fring was, 3 years in the making.
It's very exciting. We're about to blow up this room behind us here, and it's very exciting to watch, and wondering how loud it's going to be. But we've seen lots of tests. Our special effects crew is awesome. They do a great job always. So we've seen lots of video tests, but now is the big moment with all the different elements all coming together. And it should be very exciting.
We're going to clear this entire area because the blast is pretty big. It's very strong. So the whole area will be clear, except for our cameraman who's raking it, so he'll be safe. And we're all going to be in Video Village watching the monitors or hiding in various safe places around the set. And everybody will stay out until the special effects guys say, okay, all's clear. Orders have gone off, explosion's done, and we can all step in. And then we'll set up for the reveal of Gus.
Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. Stay clear. Rolling.
3, 2, 1.
So nobody go anywhere. Just freeze.
Boom, the door goes flying. And I say cut. And now comes time for the other take that finishes the sequence. And that shot took 19 takes to get right.
Carl, you coming? Door. I was pretty embarrassed and edgy that day we were shooting this particular gag. Cut. Very good. Let's go again. Typically, you do in TV, especially, you do maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 takes, 4 takes. Once you get past 4 or 5, five's okay. Once you get to 6, okay, something special like this, 6, 7, 8, all right. Once you get into the teens, you know something is not working right.
Cutting. Once again.
Vince is very particular and very specific about what he wants, and there were so many different elements going into this. The smoke.
A little big blast of smoke. Let's get a little big chunk of smoke in here.
The 2 nurses that come running up, Giancarlo's drop, the adjustment of the tie.
Cut. Very
Cutting.
Good.
I knew this had to be perfect, and it had to be perfect in one uninterrupted flow. So I needed it to be just so. And I got more and more nervous the more takes it went.
Cut.
Cutting.
And then Giancarlo is such a trooper. He's such a pro.
The character of Gus Fring is so strong that you buy that moment of his physical, mental prowess, his intention, his focus.
But luckily, take 17 was pretty good. Take 18 was even better. And then take 19 was like, boom, perfect.
Cut. Best one yet. Good.
So Vince did 19 takes, and he used the 19th take. And when we were in post, we looked at all 19 takes, and and Vince picked the 19th one, but I believe, and I could be wrong about this, I have to check with the editor, but I believe he asked the editor to not tell him which take was which until afterwards, and it was, in fact, the 19th take that he picked.
But I'm proud to say we used take 19. We didn't go back and shoot 19 takes and then go back and use number 1.
Although it looks like one continuous shot in the final result, it's actually the result of 2 different visual effects shots, a locked-off special effects shot and then an actor performance shot. We shot it with the locked-off camera, we shot the explosion, and it left the debris like right in the middle of the shot.
We had to actually move some of the debris out of the way in order for the dolly to push up to the doorway and reveal Giancarlo.
So we had to take the explosion elements that were shot in take 1 and insert them and composite them back over what was take 19. That was the final approved shot of the take with the actor. We had to make up appliance on the actor, and we had tracking marks on the side of his head and on his face, which allowed us to use the 3D geometry that we built from the sculpture and then track that onto his head.
The shot of Giancarlo on the side where his face is blown is replaced with a digital scan of the model that was originally created by Greg Nicotero and K&B. It's all one, beautiful, horrifying, scary piece that works so well, and it's just such a dramatic and amazing end for Gus. It's just a great way to say goodbye to him.
This explosion was a marriage of many different areas of expertise, both in physical special effects and in makeup and in digital visual effects.
I never imagined such a fantastic death. But then again, I never imagined all the artisans who came together to make it work for television. So it's made history now.
But just the sheer work that goes into this, just astounding.
How amazing to be able to capture that moment and have it live on.